Nobody knows what happened to the Axeman of New Orleans shorts. In 1919, Mike Pepitone went to sleep beside his wife on Ulloa Street in New Orleans, and then a man walked through a chiseled hole in their back door, killed him with his own axe, and vanished with a citywide manhunt, hundreds of tips, and a decade of police work turning up nothing. Pepitone was a grocer, 38 years old, father of 6. His wife Esther slept in the next room. The city had already spent a year in fear. Since May 1918, someone had been breaking into homes across New Orleans at night, always through a door panel pried loose with a chisel, always using an axe or straight razor already inside the house. 6 people were dead before Pepitone. Newspapers had a name for him by then. The Axeman. Nobody had seen his face, and that is the problem. October 27, 1919, just after 1:30 a.m., Esther Pepitone woke to sounds from her husband's room. She found him in the dark, his skull crushed, blood on the walls, the family's own axe dropped beside the bed. She screamed. 6 children woke. None of them saw anyone leave. The back door stood open at the chiseled panel, the Axeman's signature entry used in every attack for 17 months. Neighbors heard nothing. No footsteps on the porch. No dog barked. Police arrived within the hour and found a house full of shaken witnesses and not one description of the man who had just been standing over a dying grocer. The first search turned up almost nothing. No fingerprints on the axe, it had been wiped clean or never touched barehanded at all. No footprints in the yard. No forced lock because there was no lock to force. The killer never touched a doorknob in any of his attacks, only the wood around it. Valuables sat untouched in the house, jewelry on the dresser, cash in a drawer. Robbery was ruled out within days. Detectives canvassed the block. Nobody had seen a stranger. Nobody had seen anything. The same pattern held from every prior scene going back to 1918. Entry without a sound, exit without a trace, and a weapon that was never brought in from outside. The Axeman never carried his own tools. He used what was already in the house. After 17 months and 6 murders, police had no suspect, no motive, and no physical evidence that pointed anywhere at all. The leading theory was the mafia. New Orleans in 1919 was thick with Black Hand extortion rackets, and several victims, including Pepitone, had Sicilian roots and business ties that touched organized crime. Detectives leaned hard into it. A man named Joseph Mumford surfaced as their strongest lead, a known Black Hand associate with a record of violence stretching back over a decade. Esther Pepitone became convinced Mumford had killed her husband, and in December 1921, she tracked him down in Los Angeles and shot him dead on a public street. Remember the chiseled door, the one detail that never changed across 6 murders. That detail is what breaks the Mumford theory completely. Records showed Mumford was sitting in Louisiana State Prison during at least one of the Axeman attacks in the middle of the killing spree, the method identical down to the chiseled panel and the borrowed weapon. He could not have committed that murder, which means either 2 men were somehow using the exact same signature, independently, in the same city, or the man Esther Pepitone killed in Los Angeles was never the Axeman at all. A jury acquitted her anyway, ruling it justifiable homicide, and the case was closed without the state ever naming a confirmed suspect. New Orleans got a verdict. It never got an answer. Here is the detail investigators still can't explain. In March 1919, mid-spree, a letter arrived at the Times-Picayune signed the Axeman, claiming to be a demon from hell and promising to spare any house playing jazz music at 12:15 a.m. on a specific Tuesday night. That night, every dance hall in New Orleans was packed. Every home with a piano had it going. Not a single attack occurred. The letter's handwriting was never matched to anyone. Its knowledge of the killer's own pattern was exact. And after Pepitone's murder 8 months later, the Axeman simply stopped. No warning, no final letter, no 7th house. The case remains open in name only. New Orleans police have never closed the file, and no DNA, no confession, no deathbed admission has surfaced in over a century. The chiseled door panels are still the only signature anyone agrees belongs to him. If Joseph Mumford was in prison for one of the murders, who was standing at the other 5 doors?